How good of a watercolor landscape do you think you could paint in just 5 minutes? What can you even get done in 5 minutes? Take a nap? That was a joke. You don't get to take a nap, you have kids! Well, how about folding some laundry? No napping! Have your husband go into GameStop to get the one thing that we planned on getting and not be distracted by anything else? Most things take longer than 5 minutes, but what about a watercolor landscape? Sounds absolutely terrifying, so let's try it. Bit of a different angle here, and this is kind of overexposed right now, but with this camera you'll still be able to get to see the clear view. Hello, hello. I thought it could be fun to include this angle for a real-time painting challenge. I've never done this before, so let's see how this goes. I have my watercolor paints here that I'm going to use, and these are my Schmincke watercolors. So the paper I'm using is just Canson Mixed Media Sketchbook. So I have my 4 separate areas all taped off and ready to go. This I am going to be doing last because I feel like it's going to be the hardest. So we're going to start with this one. I don't know if this is what it's called, but I call it a silhouette painting, where you have like bright bold colors in the background and then black silhouette shapes in the foreground. I just think those look really cool, and I think I want to try one. 3, 2, 1, go. Pre-wet the paper here. So I was tagged in this challenge by Artsy Kristy. I will link her channel below. The original creator, well, I don't know if she's the original creator, but another person who partook in this challenge did not count her drying times towards the 5 minutes, so I don't think I'm going to do that either. And I do have a hair dryer next to me over here that I will be using to help speed up the process. So I just want to first lay down a little bit of color. Not sure how far down I want to bring it. That's probably good for there. And then I want to take this tissue, well, I guess I don't need to do that. But I also wanted to take some of this color, kind of mix it around up here. Ugh. The paper is warping really bad. Maybe less as we get, whoa, that's a lot. Less as we get down here. So I'm going to pause my timer. That is paused. I'm just going to use this blow dryer here. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good. I wish the colors were a little bit bolder, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start working on the bottom part and the silhouette part, and depending on how long it takes me to do that, then I might come back in with some bolder colors for the sky. This is something I did to prepare ahead of time. That's not it. Here it is. I cut out a silhouette of a little girl, so I'm going to use that as a stamp kind of thing, where I'm just going to paint over it, and that will give me a very quick silhouette. Okay, I'm going to restart the timer with 3 minutes left. 3, 2, 1, go. I'm going to now, I don't know if prepping all these things beforehand is like against the rules or defeats the purpose or whatever, but it is what it is. But I just thought I would give myself the best chance possible. Okay, so now I'm going to see how well this works. Okay. 2 minutes left. I'm gonna get my little girl here. I want it to be completely black, so it's kind of hard to do with watercolor. Okay. Okay, and I'm gonna pull this up and let's hope that it worked. That looks pretty good. Now I'm going to use this bigger brush again. Take some of that water off of it. So it's a little bit too wet, but... So now I'm going to pause, and pausing at 54 seconds. I should have made the tree a lot bigger. It's okay. Dry this. So now my plan is to just make this black part a little bit darker and then maybe add some more vibrancies around the background. So I'm going to brush wet preemptively. Let's start this timer back. 3, 2, 1, go. Just gonna make that a little bit darker. Kind of neat, like grass texture. Also make this just a bit darker. Okay, but now I want to make some of that darker. 21 seconds, can I do it?
Oh my God!
Yeah. Okay, here's the thing. I botched it. I added way too much color there at the end, and then blended it out too much. So I'm going to allow myself to dab this away. Because, you know, I believe this challenge is more of just an exercise to get you painting, more to put you in the mindset of just getting something down on paper. So it's really good for people like me who think of a landscape and like get super overwhelmed, like it's too many details, it's too hard, I don't know what I'm doing. But if I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to take 5 minutes, get something down on paper and see what I can come up with. And if I like it enough, then I can come back to it later maybe and do some more. I will say, I wish I hadn't added that orange, so I just took it off. And I probably should have brought this yellow down a little bit further. But other than that, I still think it's super cute, and I definitely am going to try to do more silhouette paintings in the future. So let's move on to the second one. This one is completely dry, so I'm going to go ahead and scoot this over a little bit, and we'll work on this top one. For this one, I wanted to try a monochromatic painting, which is just like one color, different tone variances. And so I'm going to try to do a foresty scene. So let's see how that goes. Alright, setting my timer for 5 minutes, and 3, 2, 1, go. So this one, again, I'm wetting down. Oh no, they're still yellow. They're still yellow. That's okay. Wetting down this paper. Not too much, just enough. And then go in and get some of this green. And I need a bigger brush for this. I think I need an even bigger brush. I'm gonna pause. So now we have some very faint trees, and now I'm going to do something that is quite scary, but hopefully it's going to be okay. Get right back to it. 3, 2, 1, go. And just need to lightly wash over this again. Get some water to come out of it. Oh my goodness. Okay. Head in's a bit of a hill here. I'm going to take a little bit of darker trees up front here. Okay. I'm gonna pause. So I think I'm gonna do one more layer and that should be fine. So 3, 2, 1, go. Nope, this is the one I wanted. This one nice and dark. Get color mixed up here. We've got okay. You know, it's not what I had envisioned in my head, but I don't absolutely hate it. I did somewhat capture the effect I was going for, where you can kind of see the lighter trees in the distance, and then they get a little bit darker, and then they should be very dark up front, and there's basically no definition in these trees at all, but that's okay. I will accept this. Now we're going to move on to the third painting, which admittedly I've chosen more of a seascape than a landscape, but I think it still applies the same. So what we're going to do first is clean off our brushes because we don't want to make that mistake again. Okay, now I do have somewhat of a plan for this one as well, so let's hope that I can execute it. So what I want to do first, pencil. Oh, look at that. I have a yellow pencil. That'll work. I'm just going to put a little half circle right here. Okay. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so basically what just happened is my camera stopped recording and I didn't know it. So we got this sky done in 3 minutes and 54 seconds. So I've got 2 minutes and 6 seconds left, which is fine because you basically saw how I did this sky and it was a mess. I tried to do this one with kind of the same technique, but I tried a little harder, I guess. So now we are going to work on the bottom part. For this, I need to make sure my brushes are clean. 3, 2, 1, go. I'm wetting down the bottom half. Trying not to touch the yellow. I think normally you would have a piece of tape kind of taping that off, but we're going to make some little squiggly shapes on each side, but leaving a path going down the middle, because that is going to hopefully look like the sunlight reflecting on the water. Okay. That's not too bad. We're beginning here. So now I'm going to pause it. So I want to add some darker blues in here, but I also wish that this was a little bit more vibrant, but I don't want another that situation. So we're going to see what we can do. 3, 2, 1, go. Water coming out. There it is. Okay. So I just want this to be a little darker in some areas. Uh-oh. The computer is dying. No. Please live. Okay, so I think that worked good. I wonder how much more I could... Okay. Let me pause. Let me plug my computer in and I'll be right back. Okay, computer is plugged in and not going to die, and I actually think this one turned out okay. The dark blues kind of muddied into the lighter blues and don't really look as dark anymore, but what can you do? So this is what we have so far. I mean, they're not great. They're not like how Artsy Kristy's turned out, or Emma Jane's turned out, where they turned into like literal masterpieces in just 5 minutes. But for somebody who doesn't ever paint landscapes, I'm pretty happy with these. I mean, now I know that this is what I can get done in 5 minutes. I know that I could probably spend more time on them. So now, time for this one. I'll insert a picture here. This is actually a photo that I took out of the front of our vehicle one time when we were driving home. And I just thought it looked super aesthetic, so I'm going to do my best to try to recreate it without the cracks in the windshield, though. In 3, 2, 1, go. Getting this paper wet here. Trying to make it a little bit uneven. Okay. Now I'm going in with the road color here. Oh, this could not have been sloppier if I tried. Okay, now let's pause that. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, that's it. That is my take on... That was a box of miniature binder clips that just fell off my desk. That is my take on the 5-minute watercolor challenge. As you can see, they're not great, but I literally never paint watercolor landscapes. or really landscapes in general. I'll pop in a couple of landscapes that I've done in the past, but they were actually in acrylics. So I peeled the tape off of them and they do look a little nicer without the tape on them. So yeah, in all seriousness, I think this is a really great challenge just to try to get you to get something down on paper, and that's exactly what I did. I have 4 watercolor landscapes here. I still really like the ideas of all of them, and I think with more time I could probably make them come out a little better. So I think I will. Maybe not in this video because it's probably already getting a little long, but maybe you guys could pick, and for the next video I could recreate one of these 4. So leave a comment down below 1, 2, 3, or 4 for which one you'd like to see me recreate, and I will do that for a future video. Thanks again to Artsy Kristy for challenging me, and I will think of another channel to call out. And maybe I'll tag someone down below to do the challenge next. Okay, bye! Back part, so I get the backwash down,